Let's talk, Peter, about those Airbus numbers. If you have any immediate reaction, the numbers coming in are stronger than expected, a 30% jump in revenue. Is this simply a case, though, of the plane makers playing catch-up because they didn't really deliver anything over the last 12 to 18 months or so? Yes, there were deliveries, but not in the same capacity that we're used to seeing. And do you expect those deliveries and, of course, the results that we're seeing to perhaps taper back a little bit going forward once we see economies ramp up?
Yeah, I think we can see it probably, Matt, in the same sort of context as we see the recovery in passengers coming back to fly. I mean, as we start to emerge from COVID, hopefully, the passenger growth necessarily starts to translate to needing more aircraft, and particularly newer narrow-body aircraft, because the environmental issues are going to be very, very strong in future. And it's quite interesting if you want to talk about that later, but just the crossover from wide bodies to narrow bodies. The other point too, I would say, is on long haul. Obviously, most of the movement over the last year has been with freight, whether or not in freighters, and I think a diminishing number of long-haul passenger demand, or diminishing size of that, will actually create more demand for freighters and for freighter conversions, as well as the new 350 that's coming up.
Right. Let's talk then about which plane maker is better placed going forward. You were talking about some of the reputational challenges that Boeing has to get over, given, of course, the 737 MAX. And you were just talking about the move to, of course, narrow-body aircraft and, of course, perhaps short haul. We know that Boeing's putting a lot into now the 737 MAX, given that it has faced those recertifications. But then in the announcement today out of Airbus, that it's really going to be focusing on that narrow-body A320 as well.
Yes, I mean, in terms of what's happened over the last year, Airbus has certainly taken advantage, I think, of the fact that the MAX was so troubled, even in its sort of later stages of recovery. But they've also got a 320 family, an A320 family that is really, really versatile, particularly as you get into longer range narrow-body operations, which are highly economic. And it's actually a very important stage, I think, in aviation, that for a variety of reasons, it's going to be very hard to re-establish wide-body long-haul operations on the sort of scale that existed before. And with these new, very, very efficient narrow-body aircraft, which can carry smaller numbers of passengers quite long distances and be very, very versatile, there's going to be big changeover there. And so for example, Airbus is talking about, in broad numbers, about 50 narrow bodies, 320 family and 220 family, which is a wonderful aircraft, and only about a tenth of that number with the wide bodies, 350s and 330s. So it really does sort of anchor the fact that it's going to look like a very different industry, I think, in 5 years' time.